For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. Across the land, all across the world, echoes of voices, we join hand in hand. Harmony rise in the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world. Truth from St. Lucia to sandy shores, from cities and hills to the Caribbean breeze. We sing together, hearts at ease. Education to open every mind. Learn about your country, leave no one behind. NewsSpin is on your radio. Come along, hands in hands, voices in unity, singing loud. NewsSpin, news the best, better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world. St. Lucian's heart to the world's every land. Knowledge unites us hand in hand. Yeah, Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. NewsSpin is on education for all, from city streets to mountains tall. Learn your history, share your dreams. Together we light the world with our flame. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world. Better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world. Yeah, NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world.
Imagine you're out of practice and you're caught off guard, not used to being grilled by investigative journalists. That's coming up on this, the most monitored talk show in the world. NewsSpin is on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Please Like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin YouTube channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. We'll be together until 2 o'clock this afternoon, along with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. What's on your mind today? What's on your mind today? The NewsSpin question of the day. And we'll endeavor to see if we can go through some of your responses to that question. Just bear with me. I think we have a couple of responses that we might be able to go through in just a moment. So please stand by. It's just a simple question. And, you know, people take issue sometimes with the question that we pose on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as if we are trying to elicit a particular comment or comments from you, members of the audience. It's a case where if you want to respond, you respond, and if you want to ignore our questions, you can just do that. It's your prerogative as to what you do and how you respond. With regard to our NewsSpin question of the day, what is on your mind? As somebody says, is Richard Frederick still holding his cabinet post? Another one says, what's on my mind today? St. Lucian culture, and what would that look like 20 years from now? Would the Creole language stand the test of time? Will our folklore, traditions, and beliefs be just a memory or a paragraph in a historical book? Another person says, can I help myself? Another one, the confrontation between the Prime Minister and the Al Jazeera reporter. There was no such confrontation. The Prime Minister is at the head table. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia. He is the chairman of CARICOM. Open the floor for questions, and questions are being posed at him. He might not like the type of questioning because he's not used to that. He might not like the follow-up questions because he's out of training. But there wasn't a confrontation at all. So let's continue with your comments regarding the NewsSpin question of the day. What's on your mind today? Another one says they can't keep a good man down. Another one says, RF is on my mind, Tim. Yet another one, when is RF resigning? That's what on somebody's mind. And another person says, why Alan Chastney still in St. Lucia politics? Another one, Richard's resignation. The responses, at least some of them, to our NewsSpin question of the day. What's on your mind today? We also have something to read. And it is by social media influencer Tina Charles, an open letter to the heads of government of CARICOM member states. And the OECS, this CARICOM meeting just ended in St. Lucia, and it ended yesterday on a high note with that much talked about press conference. So that letter was penned and addressed to the heads of government of CARICOM by Tina Charles. I wonder if they got to read the letter, but it reads, Dear Honorable Heads of Government, I write to you as a concerned citizen seeking your perspective on a matter of public governance and accountability within our Caribbean community. If a minister serving in your cabinet were the subject of an ongoing investigation into serious allegations, what course of action would you consider appropriate? Would you expect that minister to remain in office while investigations continue, or would you believe it prudent for the minister to step aside until the matter is resolved? As our Prime Minister also serves as chairman of CARICOM, I respectfully ask for your views on whether his handling of such a situation reflects the standards of good governance, transparency, and the rule of law that CARICOM seeks to uphold. In your opinion, are his actions consistent with the legal and ethical principles expected of leaders within our regional community? I ask these questions in the spirit of accountability, respect for democratic institutions, and the shared values that unite CARICOM. Your insights would contribute meaningfully to the public's understanding of the standards of leadership expected across our region. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Tina Charles. A letter addressed to the CARICOM heads who just concluded their 51st summit in St. Lucia. And it was just this week that the opposition UWP called on the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, to address the ongoing controversy and also to address the St. Lucian public directly, urging the Prime Minister to address the St. Lucian public via some statement, whether it's on radio or television. Let us wait to see whether that will happen between now and later this week or this weekend or next week or ever at all, and whether the Prime Minister of St. Lucia will take an approach regarding the future of the minister in his cabinet, or just allow the process to take its course in terms of the police investigation that is currently underway. But there's been instances, particularly during the reign of the previous administration, when government ministers were forced, were advised, were made to resign. In the UWP administration of 2016-2021, Dr. Eubaldus Raymond resigned, and also then Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Jimmy Henry, resigned as well. There was talk that he passed through the George Charles Airport from Barbados, where he was reportedly vacationing with a sum of money. And apparently, customs officers questioned him, and they under the impression that he was carrying more money that he would have been allowed to, as per the regulations. Turns out that the amount of money that he had in his possession would have given him the right to walk through customs, the authorities, immigration authorities, etc., without being checked. But as would happen later, controversies started to swirl around this particular matter, and he was asked, I am told he was asked to resign, but he ended up resigning, issuing a statement to the nation. And that statement we will play to you right now, and that is Mr. Jimmy Henry resigning in July of 2017 as the minister in the Ministry of Agriculture.
My fellow St. Lucians, I take the opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to the government of St. Lucia and to the Honorable Prime Minister Alan Shastney, in particular, for having afforded me the high honor of serving my country as a member of the St. Lucia Senate and as a minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Physical Planning, Natural Resources, and Cooperatives. For reasons altogether personal, I have decided to tender my resignation with immediate effect from the Senate and as a minister. Due to these personal matters, at this time I am unable to give the attention necessary to my ministerial duties. I wish to thank my dedicated supporters in Denry North who have stood by me through thick and thin. I will continue to maintain a keen interest in the development of my community, and I assure all of you of my confidence in the advancement of our community under the current administration. To my cabinet colleagues, I say thank you for your guidance and support received over the past year. I continue to have full confidence in the direction of the government, and I wish my colleagues all the best in achieving success. I thank you. My fellow St. Lucians, I take the opportunity.
You just heard and saw Mr. Jimmy Henry, then Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, resigning and issuing that statement in an address to the nation. In 2017, this whole matter surrounding Mr. Jimmy Henry was reported in the local press as well as in the regional press, including the Caribbean Media Corporation, CMC. Radio Peace, which they wrote on this. July the 12th, 2017. Agriculture Minister Jimmy Henry has resigned following reports that he was recently stopped and searched at the George Charles Airport. Henry, who announced his resignation Wednesday in a video posted on social media, he attributed his decision to personal reasons, which he said was taking attention away from his ministerial duties. For reasons altogether personal, I have decided to tender my resignation with immediate effect from the Senate and as a minister. Due to these personal matters at this time, I am unable to give the attention necessary to my ministerial duties, Henry said. He thanked his supporters in his East Coast village of Dennery and said he would continue to maintain a keen interest in the community. However, according to former government minister and talk show host Richard Frederick, has alleged that Henry was stopped at George Charles Airport and questioned about an undisclosed sum of money in his possession. But National Security Minister Herman Gill Francis on Tuesday denied knowledge of any such investigation regarding Henry and suggested that the allegation is political mischief. In response, top cop Milton Daisy told reporters that he gave no order to investigate Henry, who had previously declined to comment on the matter until now. Henry contested the Dennery North seat in the last general election and lost to Sean Edward of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And that election he contested was in 2016. On the line now, we have Mr. Jimmy Henry. As we say, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, team. How you doing?
I am okay. How about you?
I'm good, sir. I'm surviving.
Yeah.
I'm living my life.
Thank you. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us on the world's most monitored talk show.
Sure, no problem.
Mr. Henry, how has life been for you so far between 2017 and now? You're talking about almost 9 years.
Yeah, initially, team. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, team. Initially, this thing was so difficult having to. I started working from the time I was about 18 years. I left secondary school, got into SAFA. After I left SAFA, I was at work immediately, and until 2017. I worked all my life. That's all I knew. Well, I should not say that's all I knew, but I worked all my life. And then I found myself in politics in 2016, contesting for the United Workers' Party against, like you said, Sean Edward. And we all know what the outcome of this was. I stayed over. I was in government for just about a year. Very challenging. After I left him, I was not able to work. I was out there. I was just there. And then I decided to leave St. Lucia because I had a family to take care of. I decided to leave St. Lucia and come over to the U.S., where I'm currently residing.
But you said then that you resigned for personal reasons. Don't you think this is worthy? 9 years later, but still worthy of clarification. What are those personal reasons?
If I have to go in depth with this thing, it's going to take the show. It's not going to be long enough.
Okay.
If I have to go in depth, but then I'd rather not go too deep into the reason for my resignation, which there were all the sorts of speculations out there. all sorts of speculations. But then I remember in 2020, was it 2018 or 2019? Just before, no, it was 2020. It was just before the pandemic. The plan was to start. I always believed, team, that I needed to let the people of the Valley, and by extension St. Lucia, know exactly what transpired. And I started out with an interview with a young lady. But then soon after that, COVID hit. So it was what was supposed to have happened. It was supposed to have been a continuous thing where every week or every other week I delve into what transpired and how I got to where I was. And like I said, Tim, it just everything. COVID happened, and I was left to leave St. Lucia after COVID. September of 2020, I left St. Lucia up until now.
Mm-hmm. But how did this?
But I've always been back. I've always been in St. Lucia. I'm always in St. Lucia. Sometimes 3 times for the year. I'm always in St. Lucia, back and forth, because I have my kids. I still have my kids back home. I have responsibilities.
How has this impacted you?
Oh boy, Tim. Tim, I can't even begin to answer this question. First of all, this thing, my kids. I remember one time I got up and one of my kids said to me, "Daddy, you're not going to work. You're not going to work anymore. You're not going to work today. You've always been going to work, Daddy." And we realized that you're not going to work, because the thing is, Tim, I never involved my kids in politics. And my kids knew nothing about this thing, and they were very young, as a matter of fact. And it was very hard. It was very difficult. Having to transition, being in the house, not doing anything. It was very difficult for myself, for my family, for everybody, all those persons around me, Timothy. Mm-hmm. Very difficult.
Okay. But for the record, you did not do anything illegal that warranted you resigning.
No, Tim. Okay. No, Tim. And if I knew then what I know now, I would not have done that, Tim.
Okay.
But then, Tim, I came into government as a young man, naive, mm-hmm. not understanding quite a bit of things, Timothy. And then, and I was forced. I was in a room and I was being bombarded with things I knew nothing of, mm-hmm. and I was made to feel that I had done something that was so bad, mm-hmm. and then I would have been arrested. It was just not good at all, Tim. I saw it as being bullied, literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw it as being bullied, and like I said, I didn't have I always say that, Tim. I had no backer. I had nobody to stand for me and with me at the time. Nobody, Tim. I was a lone ranger. I was there alone, and I suspect quite a bit of those persons knew that, boy, he has nobody. He has nobody to fight with him and for him. So let's just get rid of him and be done with that. Team, I came from. Everybody had gone on vacation. Everybody had gone on vacation in cabinet. Most persons had gone on vacation, and I just took a few days, a weekend. I took off, Team. When I was coming back, contrary to popular bits, when I was coming back, Team, I went to Barbados for a few days. When I was coming back, Team, I had $5,000 on me, Team. 5,000, not US, 5,000 Barbadian dollars, Team, on me. This is within the legal limit, Team. I was stopped, and this gentleman stopped me at the airport and said, I did whatever, and I can't even remember, because it was I'm like, but what he wants to search me. I said, search for what? For what reason? What's the reason? Mr. Henry, this and that and whatnot. I said, he said, do you want to go in? I said, no, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. You could go ahead and do your searching. So I saw this gentleman patting on my bag, patting the bag. So I was a little upset. So I just threw all the clothes down on the table right in front of everybody. I threw everything down. I said, what exactly are you looking for? Tell me what exactly are you looking for? And then he said, but do you have any cash? I said, yes, I have any cash. The I gave the guy the cash. He counted the cash. It was exactly $5,000. And he said, okay, so we're so sorry about this. You can go. So team, up to a day like today, I have not been approached by anybody. Nobody. I have not been approached by anybody. I was even it came to the point where I was almost scared of leaving St. Lucia to come to the U.S., Timothy, because of what I was told. Because of what I was told. Tim, I remember coming to the U.S. after long. I said, "Nah, I need to take a break. I need to leave St. Lucia. Go, just relax my brain for a little while, Tim." I came to the U.S. and the guy at the customs thing said to me, "Mr. Henry, but you have a diplomatic passport. What are you doing on this? What are you doing on this line?" I said, I was shocked, to tell the truth. And then I said to him, "Well, I'm traveling on personal business, so I opted for my personal passport." He said, "Okay, no problem." And he said, "Welcome to the U.S." And the rest was history, Tim. Tim, I've been in the U.S. Tim. You do things sometimes you don't want to. You have to go through, make decisions in your life that you don't want to. This is not what you saw in your future, but you have to do things sometimes you may not necessarily want to do, but you don't have a choice at the time. You have to do what you have to do. I have 3 kids I had to think of them. They were my priority, Team, and I had to do whatever I had to do in order to take care of them. And that's why I'm here now.
But your resignation,
doing my stuff,
would have been prompted by, at the time, a lot of pressure from the opposition, St. Lucia Labour Party.
Definitely, Tim. Definitely, I remember. Well, while I don't want to touch that, I remember when this the first person. The truth is, I didn't even hear it. A friend of mine called and said, "Boy, look, you on the Richard has your name." I said, "Richard has my name. What's going on?" And he said, "But Richard said you this and you did this and you did that." I said, "What? I do not know what I do not know." I remember another person called me from Uford. Where have you fought? And said to me, "Jimmy, what's happening?" I was lost, Tim. Everything was going on, and I knew nothing. They always say that you're the last person to know, and everybody else knew, Tim, and I knew nothing about it. And persons within my circle knew and never uttered a word to me, Tim. Never uttered a word to me. Never uttered a word.
So now
and then I found out then.
Yeah, you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. And then after that, I when I got to know what was happening, and a few weeks after that, I was called. Like I said, I was called, and the discussion and whatnot, and again, that was it.
But you're following the developments in St. Lucia. What are your thoughts? And the calls are being made. Calls are being made for the Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre to address that particular issue involving the government minister. What say you to this?
Okay, Tim. I'm going to be very careful there. I'm not going to be like the minister at the time. During my time, I'm not going to be like him. I do not know the gentleman personally. What the gentleman does with his life, Tim, I'm not going to cast fingers. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to say he should be resigned. He should get out of office. The Prime Minister should do the diligent thing and get rid of him. I'm not going to say that, Tim. That's not my decision to make. It's not my decision. It's never going to be my decision to make. The Prime Minister, what I can say is that it's up to him now, because I remember my very good friend Eubalus Raymond, when he had his issue, which was not as bad as what I saw there last week. I remember myself, and they were the first set of persons to they have to leave. This one has to leave. That one has to leave. We cannot do this, and these ones are involved in this, and that one is involved in this. I'm going to leave it to them. What I would have done, Tim, I would not have even asked for his resignation. Let's see what the St. Lucia Labour Party is going to do. The table is turned now. The table has been turned. Let's see what's going to happen. And remember, I was not charged. There was no reason, no need to be charged in my case. Neither was Eubalus Raymond. But we stepped out, and I stepped out quietly. I stepped down quietly. I did not keep any noise. I didn't do anything. The prime minister at the time, he felt, well, that's the decision he had to take, and he took his decision, and I respected it. I never made any noise. I never made any big rock. I was disappointed. I personally believe that this was not the best way that they should have handled the situation, because it was not right. And what the decision had caused, Tim, was that we have a parliamentary representative right now there. Right now, we have a parliamentary representative, Tim. Tim, we have to be honest. When it comes to politics, we have to be honest at certain times. We have a parliamentary representative who's I'm going to be very careful. The parliamentary representative has had four consecutive elections. Mm-hmm. 4 consecutive, and you have to give Jack his jacket. You have to give Jack. The man is I could say untouchable now. Why? Because of the decisions of the United Workers' Party. Because of the decisions of the United Workers' Party. I personally believe, Tim. That's my personal belief, Tim. That's my personal belief and my personal take. That if I had stayed there, I knew what in 2016 up until 2021, I knew what I needed to do, Tim. I knew what I needed to do in order to bring this seat home to the United Workers' Party. I knew what I needed to do. And I remember 2016, I had been asking Tim for years, about 2 years before that, to contest that seat. I was given 2 weeks to campaign with no cash, Tim, no money. Not one person that ever came in front of me and said to me, "Look, $2, Tim, for campaign in 2016." Nobody, no party. And I could go anywhere and say that. I want somebody to tell me, look, I want somebody to come in front of me and tell me, Tim, this is the amount of money we gave you in your hand, in your name, in your hand, or we gave it. I want somebody to come and tell me that. I remember saying that one time, and somebody, one of the ministers at the time said that they're going to take me to court for saying that, because that was a lie. Can you believe these people? After all what I had gone through, Tim, after all the depression I had gone through, in the end,
you lost the seat by just what, over 200 votes?
After 100 odd votes, Tim. Okay. Less than 150 votes in a 2-week period, Tim. Because you see the Valley, Tim. The Valley is a very dynamic seat. And if we don't understand politics, Tim, if we don't understand the Valley politics is a very peculiar thing, Tim. The people of the Valley are a very special group of people. They are a very special group. You have to know how to deal with them. And the thing about me, Tim, I was into everyone. Maybe that's what got me into trouble in the first place. I always say that. Maybe that's what got me into trouble. I was into everyone. I was into everything, Tim. In all corners, in all holes, in all bars, you have to be part and parcel of people, Tim, when you're into politics. And I've always said again, Tim, when you're in politics, your first and foremost priority are your constituents, because they're the ones who give you that power. They're the ones who give you that power first and foremost. And then it's left to the leader of the party to say, okay, this is what we're going to do with you. This is what we're going to do for you at the end of the day. But the priority is and always will be the constituents of your constituents, because they're the ones who saying this is who we want, this is who we do not want.
Any final comments from you, Mr. Henry? Any final comments? Final comments from you, sir?
Like I said, Tim, we follow what's happening home. I love my beautiful island, and it's really bad. And we see all what's happening with regards to the crime. With regards to the crime rate, we see all what's happening with the minister in cabinet, and you're not hearing a word. You're not hearing a word from those persons who, some years before, kept bashing, this has to be done, this has to be done, that has to be done. You're not hearing a word from anyone, Tim. Everybody's mouth is shut. But we all know, Tim. We all know. But that's for another show. We're going to deal with this thing some other time, Tim. We have to go in depth when it comes. I need you, Tim, one of these days, when I'm in St. Lucia to invite me over to your show, and then we're going to go in depth in quite a bit of things I would want to reveal to the people of St. Lucia and the Valley.
That will be organized, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us on NewsSpin.
No problem, sir.
All right, thank you. Just heard there from Mr. Jimmy Henry, who was at one time a minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, served in a previous United Workers' Party administration. He resigned amidst an allegation that he had entered the island with a sum of money and flouted regulations, which turned out not to be the case. You heard from him saying that he had in his possession 5,000 Barbadian dollars after traveling to St. Lucia from Barbados, where he was vacationing. And I'm told that the regulation does state that you can travel from anywhere into St. Lucia with at least 10,000 US dollars and less, not more. 10,000 US dollars or less, that is permissible. You could travel with it on your person. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Still to come, that exchange, that famous exchange between a journalist from Al Jazeera and the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, who is also the chairman of CARICOM. In the meantime, let me see if I could go through some of your WhatsApp messages while we are awaiting your calls. So please stand by as we continue our broadcast. I suspect we have a call coming in. No, we don't. But let us instead go through a WhatsApp message. What's on my mind today? PJP should never have been elected Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Never, never, never. Wrong choice. Would you say that the former Agriculture Minister fled after being investigated and questioned? Well, we have already put that to rest through that interview I had with him moments ago. Somebody says that via WhatsApp, after that exchange with the foreign journalist, I am sure he now knows the names of the fishermen's great-grandparents, aunties, uncles, nieces, and nephews. Shaking my head, mate, is a joke. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. One question the people of St. Lucia must ask: when was the Prime Minister made aware of the situation involving the Minister of Housing? As I'm aware, any matter of such nature, particularly with who is involved, is reported to a department or station in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, from which the head of department or officer who holds the responsibility of such unit informs the Commissioner of Police. The top cop then is obligated to inform the Minister of National Security. So the question remains, at what time and date was the report made against the Minister? When was the Minister of National Security informed of the report? What did the Minister of National Security do after receiving information of the report? I understand the police has an obligation to uphold the law, and the interference of investigations in any matter is unlawful. But we need those questions answered. We need to demand the truth with this causing division among the people of this state, according to a WhatsApp message. Another message reads, this government is giving value for money and not money for value. Is real? St. Lucians, you deserve better than that. Too much crooks in public office. St. Lucians, you deserve better than that. Okay, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says that, Tim, did you hear a press handler at that Al Jazeera mic be turned off? Yes, I kind of heard somebody suggesting or instructing that his mic be turned off. Another WhatsApp message. Let's see there. Somebody says there, Tim, an interesting statement which was released by then opposition at the time of Jimmy's resignation letter. And that statement has been forwarded to me. I will at some point in time see if I could access that statement. I think I could access it right now. And it's dated the 15th of August 2017. It says there, the Prime Minister returned from holiday and continues from where he left, refusing to answer questions with any clarity. On the issue of the sudden resignation of Jimmy Henry, having been searched by immigration officials at a local airport, he claimed that he, Jimmy Henry, was doing an amazing job in the Ministry of Physical Planning. Yet the Prime Minister readily accepted his resignation following the airport search, citing personal reasons for his departure. Given the circumstances surrounding the resignation of the former minister, the Prime Minister owes it to the people as to what qualities so inspired him about Jimmy Henry to entrust him with a cabinet post, and what of those personal reasons following the stop and search incident at the airport that has so encumbered him that he can no longer continue to serve as a government minister. The Prime Minister needs to be more forthcoming on this incident, otherwise we are inclined to believe that he has exercised poor judgment in appointing a man who was rejected by the people to serve in his cabinet only to depart under a cloud of suspicion. The question remains, did the Prime Minister exercise due diligence prior to appointing Jimmy Henry to serve as a cabinet minister? In an attempt to justify an untimely vacation, the Prime Minister blames the previous SLP government, declaring that he had little access to government as the official leader of the political party. An embarrassing manifestation of the Prime Minister's knowledge and understanding of constitutional and governance matters. According to our governance structure, political parties are not recognized in the Constitution, and access is guaranteed by the Constitution to the leader of the parliamentary opposition and to members of Parliament. At the time, the Prime Minister with neither. The Prime Minister also referred to the recurrent deficit. Okay, that's not relevant there to the matter that we are discussing. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. A WhatsApp message, and it reads, my understanding is that you can travel with any amount of money, but you have to declare the funds if it's above a certain amount. I'm told that certain amount is $10,000. Some more of your messages to go through. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, just trying to access this one, says there, good afternoon. Surprisingly, this morning I came across a news article on the St. Lucia News Forum, which is dated back to 2018, in which the current Prime Minister, who was then leader of the opposition, was calling on women in St. Lucia to demand that Eubaldus Raymond be fired as a senator because of his involvement in a scandal surrounding two 18-year-old girls. Why is he so quiet? Not that similar allegations are being leveled. Now that similar allegations are being leveled. Okay, let's see if we can go through some more of your WhatsApp messages. Once again, 452-2979. You could also call 716-2026. Somebody says there, hi Tim, St. Lucia finished. Instead, we move forward. We are going backwards. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Okay, let's see if you could go through some more of your messages. And somebody has just sent this WhatsApp. It means on my mind is so many St. Lucians living in the diaspora who want to contribute to the country, and they can't because of political red tape. Why is Mr. Frederick still a government minister? Why is the government still mute on this particular matter? Another WhatsApp message. I would like to bring to St. Lucians' attention a sickness called hyperlory is apparently quite common in the Caribbean, and most of the time has little to no symptoms, but many causes digestive issues in its late stages. It can also cause cancer, and who knows, this might be a contributory factor to the high cases of cancer on the island. I'd really wish that the authorities would look into this situation or factors that may lead to this and the high levels of cancer. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let's see if we could get some more of your messages. Another one says there, Tim, I don't know Prime Minister said to the Al Jazeera journalist that I do not know. What I can say is that I have not received any information from the U.S. on the matter. What did we expect when he kept saying this to us? the citizens. Remember, you could call via WhatsApp as well, 716-2026, 716-2026. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. This one says that the way our drivers drive too reckless and some of their buses so filthy. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And we're trying to see if we go through yet another comment. Somebody says there, today I listened to our Prime Minister addressing a question in relation to the deaths of individuals on open waters. All he said basically was that he and other Caribbean countries have received no information from the U.S. I just want to know whether information was sought from the U.S. He made no mention of that. And let's see if we could go through some more of your messages. Okay, I think somebody sent a message, but those messages have been deleted. Okay, another one says there. Okay, no, we have lost that message as well. Okay, we're trying to see if we could access as many of your messages as possible. Okay, somebody is just sending a WhatsApp message right now, and it reads, Tim, why is the government so mute? I can't explain that to you. I really can't. Tim, when was it has become wrong to ask serious questions to other leaders? Tim, all I want to know is, are we the people wrong? Is this acceptable in other CARICOM states? Because if it is, then the other ministers of the other governments were absolutely wronged by the state, in my opinion. And this is coming from Tina Charles, a WhatsApp message. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. The broadcast will continue in just a moment. We will be analyzing that we consider it now famous exchange between the Al Jazeera reporter and the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. But we have a call. Let's take that call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, ma'am. Is that Tina Charles, right?
Correct.
Yes, go ahead, please.
That's me, Tim. Okay. So, Tim, I wrote a letter, a concerning letter, and people seem to think that I want to go to court, or I tend the letters asking a simple question. We seem to not get an answer from our Prime Minister, who is also the head of CARICOM. He's just been seated at the helm of CARICOM, right? Mm-hmm. He's quiet on a matter when he was the opposition, that the matters he had compared to those matters are so indifferent, as an improper fraction if you put them together. But he's now staying quiet, and St. Lucians are thinking. So I am now asking the question, maybe we St. Lucians are ignorant. Maybe he's actually acting in his right. Maybe what he's doing is illegal. Maybe the other Prime Minister took actions too fast. But that's only our opinion. So I'm now asking the other leaders, that's what I'm asking, the other leaders of CARICOM, how would they address that situation? How would they react to a situation like that? How would they react to a minister being in Parliament with those kind of allegations? What would they do? Because if this is the correct way to go, if our now sitting Prime Minister Timothy is acting in the right, it's legal, he's doing what's right for his minister, then the opposition should apologize, and the state has wronged you, Baldus Raymond and Mr. Jimmy Haynes.
Jimmy Henry.
Because they will not Henry. Sorry. They were not detained. They were never detained. They were never questioned. They were never brought in. They were, as far as I understand, especially, I don't know much of Mr. Jimmy, but when it came to you, Baldus Raymond, there was no allegation, absolutely no allegation. There was nothing to pin an allegation to. But we have a minister that is phone. Forget Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix was actually brought in and whatever. But these two were never brought in. And they were fired. They were asked to step down. So I am now asking, are we St. Lucians the one thinking wrong? Are we the ones acting out of place? Or is our Prime Minister the one upholding nonsense? That's all I want to know from my. So I'm not the brightest. I keep saying that. So those educated more than me, I'd like them to answer me. Just answer me that question so I could leave that situation alone. Thank you, Timothy.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. The broadcast will continue just a moment. Once again, that exchange between the Prime Minister and the Al Jazeera reporter, Josh Rushing, will be featured. Stay with us.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelect at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pompe yo c'est Léo. Pompe ça c'est major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moins actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pompe glo Léo en pour les 9 juin et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452-0763.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurances accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
Turn up the vibes with Flow! Flow is turning up the vibes with 400 rewards this carnival season. Sign up for postpaid, add it to your internet, and turn up your rewards. From free grocery vouchers and big handset discounts to free event tickets and costumes with the baddest bands. Flow customers are turning up 400 times. Sign up in store or visit discoverflow.co to claim your reward. Terms and conditions apply.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come, visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
An supposé, ça c'est dernier kwas gloa. Un temps set lisi, tant ka wem ka vini pli long, ek pli wed, ek sous dlo nou ka cheche. Ek la plia ka tobe pli fort, ek pli terib. Ça ka dommage kay nou, ek système glo nou. Mais nous sa changer ça. Nous sa conserver de l'eau et protéger sous de l'eau nous. Chaque petit démarche nous point ça aider. Wasko ka travaille ensemble et puis agent pour manager sous de l'eau et capon mettre pour assurer de l'eau en temps qui ka venir. Mais nous besoin si pauvre. Ensemble, nous sa protéger de l'eau nous, santé nous et assurer de l'eau pour l'autre génération. Un petit pas ça mène gros changement. On nous protéger de l'eau nous et la vie nous pour temps qui ka vini. Pour plus d'informations, visitez wascostlucia.com.
It's Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan as they present your favorite country and western singer, Heather Miles. The date, July 11th, 2026. The venue, Philosoph Disco, Saltibus. It all starts from 8 p.m. Admission is only $20. Music by DJ Stormy alongside DJ Tallboy. Food and drinks will be on sale. Elmer's 70th birthday bash continues with a beach bash Sunday, July 12th. Rudy John Beach, Ladbury. From 1 p.m. Music by DJ Stormy with DJ Pimples. So don't forget, July 11th, Philosoph Disco, and July 12th, Rudy John Beach with Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan. It's gonna be a vibe.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Reporters who normally attend and participate in the press cabinet briefing, pre-cabinet briefing on a Monday, they got a lesson yesterday in how to conduct an interview, particularly your follow-up question or questions. Here is an exchange which took place yesterday at the end of the CARICOM meeting in St. Lucia, featuring Al Jazeera's Josh Rushing interviewing or grilling the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, on Ricky Joseph. Remember, Ricky Joseph, one of those individuals, a victim of a kinetic strike which occurred in the waters between St. Lucia and St. Vincent in February of this year. The 35-year-old, we are told, was blown to smithereens, and so far what we have heard from the Prime Minister is that the matter is still under investigation, and he has not received any kind of formal statement from the U.S. authorities indicating exactly what transpired. So Al Jazeera's Josh Rushing wanted to find out from the St. Lucian Prime Minister exactly what kind of information he has received from the American authorities, and even referencing the family of Ricky Joseph as well as of his children, etc.
Thank you. My name is Josh Rushing. I'm the senior correspondent for a show called Fault Lines on Al Jazeera English. We've been investigating the disappearances of two St. Lucians, Ricky Joseph and Nafi Williams. All evidence points toward their deaths being caused by a U.S. boat strike on February 13, 2026. Experts have told us that these extrajudicial killings amount to murder. The families who we've spent time with say they have little hope of justice. So my question for you, Prime Minister Pierre, and then I have a question broadly for everyone, but for you is, for these families, what should justice look like in this situation? And then broadly, for the other leaders present, does the United States have immunity to kill citizens in your territories for alleged crimes?
I've answered that question before. I've answered it before, and my friend Dale Elliott has asked me that question before. I'll give you the same response that I gave him. We are very concerned about the loss of life for anybody, particularly these people who lost their lives at sea. We've requested information from the United States, and we've not got any information as to what happened. As I speak, we still consider it a missing persons case, and our own law enforcement are trying their best to see if they can decipher what happened. But as far as we're concerned, the United States have given us no information on that issue.
Are you on the record to say the United States is obstructing your investigation? It's been 5 months since it happened.
I'm not on the record as saying that.
What possible information could they provide to you?
I'm on the record as saying that they've given us no information.
What possible information could you get from the United States so you could proceed with your investigation? And I return to the families who, they've told us you haven't contacted them. What should justice look like for these families?
Excuse me. Let me assure you, these families are our people, you know.
Yes, sir.
They are my people. So I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure more than you. They are my people, right? I'm very concerned about them. But all I can tell you, I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is we have not got any information from the United States. That's all I know. But I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure I'm more concerned about them than you.
Well, I would just challenge that. I've spent the week with them. I can name their children.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Sir, can you?
Because, after this week, you're going to be leaving. I'm ahead of them. So I know that pain. I know what they're suffering from, but I can only tell you the truth.
Why haven't you reached out and talked to those families then?
I've done more than that. You see, you were still for a lot longer time.
I turned off his mic.
For the other leader.
Can I intervene because
So embarrassing. You have this female voice faintly saying, and Mr. Producer, maybe you could go back to the end of the exchange between the reporter or the journalist and the Prime Minister, where the person is saying, turn off his mic. This is so embarrassing because the Prime Minister cannot stand up to the kind of scrutiny that he is being subjected to, that he is not accustomed to, because he normally has a kind of friendly exchange, having fun with our local reporters. Journalism is serious business. So this individual may be thinking that the Prime Minister was against the ropes, and therefore she had to shield the Prime Minister from the level of questioning, level of scrutiny that he was being subjected to. Let's listen.
I turned off his mic.
Longer time.
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 I turned off his mic.
I have turned off his mic. Why? Is he badgering the Prime Minister or merely asking the Prime Minister relevant questions on a matter where the Prime Minister is saying, those are his people, why afraid to be subjected to that level of questioning when you are addressing a matter pertaining to your people? Let's take your calls. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. For the second half of the broadcast, we are joined now by Jante, and she's going through your comments in the chat room, and she'll be reporting to us momentarily. We have a WhatsApp message, and somebody says that, Tim, I watched the exchange between the Prime Minister and the Al Jazeera journalist. The Prime Minister initially tried to answer the questions diplomatically regarding the U.S., but when he was asked why he had not visited the family, his response became personal. He subtly suggested that the journalist did not care about the citizens more than he did. When the journalist pressed the issue further, the Prime Minister became even more personal. The journalist knew he had the Prime Minister on the defensive at that point. You could see it in the smile on his face. Now imagine if that had been a local reporter. The usual response would have been to dismiss the journalist as a UWP operative. Why? Because the journalist was asking the kind of hard questions they were uncomfortable answering. The issue is not the journalist. The issue is that leaders often do not like being challenged with tough questions that hold them accountable. It was not a good moment for the Prime Minister, especially in his role as the chairman of CARICOM. Let's see if we have another message. And somebody says there, Tim, ain't a coin have two sides, and we were born with 2 feet. Life has a way to turn on the other side as well. The same stick that licked the black dog comes back to lick the white one again. So this is why we need to be very careful with our decision and making judgment that would destroy other people's reputation. That is according to a WhatsApp message. Remember to call 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And I think we have a call via WhatsApp. Let's take that call right now. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air. Okay, we will go. Let me turn my attention to you, Jante. Good afternoon. And let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, the government better don't be mute because it's just starting. But she was still demanding that Senator Prevail give the source of his information. Alvina Reynolds does not believe that St. Lucians know how to multiply. If the government sold 5,000 passports at a stated price of 200,000 USD each, resulting in a total of 1 billion USD. Another YouTube comment here saying, is this St. Lucia's Prime Minister? Now that's journalism. What a shame. Over on Facebook, our first comment reads, these bus drivers on the Grizzly route need to scrub inside the buses. Yesterday, my daughter was on her way to work and got bitten by a little centipede. She got home with her arm swollen. Drivers need to clean the buses. And Tina Charles, I have listened to you and I can tell you that you are very, very analytical. You think deeply and you speak very articulately. I enjoy listening to you. You are sharper than many people with degrees, so never underestimate yourself. Thank you, Tina. Very good point. We have another comment here saying, is the PM trying to suggest that because the reporter is not St. Lucian, he doesn't care about the people? Or is it because he is not black? I sincerely appreciate grassroots voices like Tina Charles who are demanding accountability from the government. Richard got the information about Ubaldas and dragged him, but now it's he in it, nothing is wrong. A few comments are reading, this sends out a serious message. RF is above the law and St. Lucians have zero power in this country. They're trying to blame Shas. Labour is always making noise. Wait, you will hear SLP supporters say that it was Shas who asked the reporter to ask PJP these questions. Some news spinners are saying the SLPs will say Shas paid the journalists. The sad thing is that when you speak on matters affecting this country, some are quick to paint you yellow and a supporter of Alan Shasney. It's like you can't see for yourself and make a constructive contribution on any matter pertaining to the government. Alva must be saying, oh boy. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, Ga Alva, he wants the floor to open up and swallow him whole. The government for the people don't care about the people. My people, I'm here with them. Is he referring to people or dogs? We have another comment saying, for me, it's the guy behind the journalist. They are your people, but not once have you checked on them. The SRP spokespeople will call reporters in St. Lucia what you're saying. Another comment reading, When Pierre says St. Lucia will survive, what he really means is that the country will transition from growth and global integration to a reactive state of bare perpetuation. He tried to give jokes, but no one laughed. And our final comment, I wonder what's going through my favorite minister's mind.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We'll see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, we have a WhatsApp message which reads, Tim, the journalist Lucky PJP didn't tell him that's not his business. And let's see another WhatsApp message. The colorfuls are watching your program. They keep on saying that you spread lies. They can call the show. If I spread lies, call the show. Dematimi, and if I saying anything that warrants you taking legal action against me, go right ahead. If I spread disinformation, I'm sure that the majority, if not all, of the people who are monitoring this broadcast via Facebook, YouTube, listening, etc., they're much familiar, they are very much au fait with the issues, and they know if I'm lying and if I'm spreading disinformation. And I'm sure that you, the critics, would know that you are in no position at all to, in any way, determine whether this broadcast will remain on the air, whether it's successful or not. It's better you tune into some other show, right? I'm sure there are 2 other shows. Are there still 2 other shows that you can listen to, you can tune into? I guess you can. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. And somebody says there, good day. I absolutely heard the voice in the background saying, I've turned off his mic. I'm so embarrassed at this exchange, but laughing at the same time. The Prime Minister finally had a taste of real journalism, and of course, he did not know how to respond. His lack of diplomacy and inability to communicate clearly was on full display. The Al Jazeera journalist was not disrespectful or out of line. However, as a real journalist, he spotted the Prime Minister's defensiveness and took full advantage. The Prime Minister quickly realized that he would not be able to laugh and talk in circles with this journalist as he does with the local ones, and he immediately tried to make it personal by stating those were his people. Was this a jab because of the journalist's skin color? We all know how he feels about the white man. Thank God Mia and Kamala were able to respond diplomatically and somewhat save the situation. Somebody says that, Tim, play the video again, please. You will see the Minister of External Affairs sitting behind the journalist, hiding hand below his chin. We play this clip again since you requested it.
Thank you. My name is Josh Rushing. I'm the senior correspondent for a show called Fault Lines on Al Jazeera English. We've been investigating the disappearances of 2 St. Lucians, Ricky Joseph and Nafi Williams. All evidence points toward their deaths being caused by a U.S. boat strike on February 13, 2026. Experts have told us that these extrajudicial killings amount to murder. The families who we've spent time with say they have little hope of justice. So my question for you, Prime Minister Pierre, and then I have a question broadly for everyone, but for you is, for these families, what should justice look like in this situation? And then broadly, for the other leaders present, does the United States have immunity to kill citizens in your territories for alleged crimes?
I've answered that question before. I've answered it before, and my friend Dale Elliott has asked me that question before. I'll give you the same response that I gave him. We are very concerned about the loss of life for anybody, particularly these people who lost their lives at sea. We've requested information from the United States, and we've not got any information as to what happened. As I speak, we still consider it a missing persons case, and our own law enforcement are trying their best to see if they can decipher what happened. But as far as we are concerned, the United States have given us no information on that issue.
Are you on the record to say the United States is obstructing your investigation? It's been 5 months since it happened.
I'm not on the record of saying that.
What possible information could they provide to you?
I'm on the record of saying that they've given us no information.
What possible information could you get from the United States so you could proceed with your investigation? And I return to the families who, they've told us you haven't contacted them. What should justice look like for these families?
Excuse me. Let me assure you, these families are our people, you know.
Yes, sir.
They are my people. So I'm very concerned about them, I'm sure, more than you. They are my people, right? I'm very concerned about them. But all I can tell you, I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is we have not got any information from the United States. That's all I know. But I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure I'm more concerned about them than you.
Well, I would just challenge that. I've spent the week with them. I can name their children.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Sir, can you?
Because, I mean, after this week, you're going to be leaving. I'm ahead of them. So I know that pain. I know what they're suffering from, but I can only tell you the truth.
Why haven't you reached out and talked to those families then?
I've done more than that. You see, you will stay here for a lot longer time.
I turned off his mic.
For the other leader.
Can I intervene because...
So much for freedom of the press. I've turned off his mic. This guy is a former officer of the U.S. Marine Corps. And he is from Al Jazeera. Josh Rushing. Over to you now. Janti, again, let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Over here on YouTube, our first comment reads, "My goodness, where is the answer? What a shame. So embarrassing, PJP. St. Lucia is a laughing stock. Great response, Honorable Philip J. Pierre." Another YouTube comment reading, "Probably found out that the fishermen were UWP supporters. Mere mortally hot. We will survive, but I don't know how." Over here on Facebook, our first comment reads, "The Labours are not spreading lies. Public figures in St. Lucia keep facing serious moral scandals, yet continue their roles without consequences. Imagine a foreign reporter knows more about a family in St. Lucia than our local reporter. So it had to take a foreign journalist to inform me that PJP never visited the family and couldn't name the children. Why, ma'am?" We have another comment here saying, "Alva sits behind the journalist asking for the ground to open up. Why are they not leaving my MP alone? I plead the fifth."
Thank you so much, Janti. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, sir.
That clip you just played there with the Al Jazeera reporter and the Prime Minister, when the Prime Minister was saying that you will be leaving here next week and they will still be here with me and he care about, that's his people. I don't know if you noticed, Mia Motley and Camilla Pasabisesa watched each other and said something to each other. I don't know if you noticed that in the clip also.
I noticed,
apart from the foreign minister.
I noticed, but I can't read. I can't read lips, huh?
You cannot read. But as soon as he made the statement, they both turned and they watched each other and they engaged in conversation. And that situation is so embarrassing. And for you, the man is an international journalist, and for you to be turning off a mic on him, that's a shame. It just shows our level, the level how low we stoop. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let us see if we have another call on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, I think we have lost that call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir.
How do you do?
I'm okay. How about you?
Okay. I'm fine, thank you. Remember one time I called you and I told you, if the reporters here, right, when they ask questions, I don't know what they are always laughing with the Prime Minister. I'm not saying no, they should not, right? But when he gets people from outside like BBC, CNN, NBC to really question him, right? That's what I wanted to hear that. And I listened, I heard, and I saw for myself. When he gets those kind of reporters, what happens? You see the reporters here? I'm not saying that they're not good, right? Ask the questions. Ask the questions.
Paul, what are you saying? You're not saying they're not good.
No. I'm not saying they are not good. You see, because you know what happened? You know the problem? The reporters here, a lot of the reporters here are young kids, are children that just came out of school. So
no. Caller, you're wrong. You're wrong. You have some veterans there.
Yeah.
You have some people in journalism there for what? 30 odd years, 20 odd years, and so on. I think, and I'm making a case for the young reporters, not the old heads. I'm making a case for the young reporters. The young reporters are intimidated by the Prime Minister and the other ministers. Okay,
and the others.
The others are just cowering and playing games. They are cowering and playing games, and the St. Lucian public should not depend on those individuals to go out there and to ferret the information out for them. Okay, that's why the St. Lucian public, you increasingly do your own research, do your own reading, try to understand what is happening and so on. Thank God you have social media. Thank God you have YouTube. You read on those issues, but don't rely on our current crop of reporters, journalists, etc., to do the hard work for you. And also, you have to blame some of, not all, some of the media owners, okay? Because some of the journalists who go out there will try to get the information, try to report on it as truthfully as possible, and there are some media owners who say, "Don't put that on my station. I don't want this in my newscast." All right, so it is more complicated than many people think. You're saying?
So why aren't the veteran reporters asking the questions?
But I just told you, caller, they're too chicken. I told you why.
They're chicken. They're not too chicken, huh? They're too turkey. Not chicken.
I told you why.
I always say that, when those CNN, BBC, and those reporters start to ask questions, right? He'll not be able to laugh and get on the way he's getting on. You know, any of the other ministers, you know, we have to take things serious, man. We have to take things serious, you know. But then,
anyway, caller, thank you so much.
I wish them well. I wish them well.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution, sir. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let's see if we have some more of your messages and what somebody is saying there. These people didn't simply lose their lives, nor were they merely lost at sea. They were murdered. What exactly did the Prime Minister mean when he told the Al Jazeera reporter, "They are my people, and you can't care about them more than I do"? That statement raises an important question. If they are indeed your people, shouldn't that make the pursuit of truth, justice, and accountability even more urgent? Another one says, "Tim, the reporter's mic was turned off 3 times, and a female voice insisting that she turned off his mic. You see the length they will go to protect the Prime Minister? Will the Al Jazeera reporters report on his network? This is embarrassing. Look what St. Lucia has to offer." That's according to a WhatsApp message. Turning off the mic, protecting the Prime Minister, protecting the victory. I can't believe this man has not visited the family of the St. Lucians who were killed at sea. Let's see how far playing politics will get you. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message, it reads there, "Good afternoon, Tim. I'm asking for a friend. As Arif said, if his show Can I Help You will be on tonight, we will be tuned in." That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says, "Oh my God, what a tightrope. We can't believe the Prime Minister is a teacher's son. My God." That's according to a WhatsApp message. Over to you, Jante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, "I can just imagine the reporter's assessment of the Prime Minister based on his responses. So, who turned off the mic? That video clip will be seen around the world." Another user comment here saying, "In my opinion, that clip opened a can of worms for all the corruption taking place in St. Lucia. The most readied PM, Borgia. Thank God for Honorable Philip J. Pierre, the 7-star general. We should have this kind of journalism in St. Lucia. They would keep the government in check. The journalists in St. Lucia should not be joking with him and ask the relevant questions. Over here on Facebook, our first comment read, murders were caused. You investigating, requesting information. You have to investigate and present your findings. Peep needs to say the I confess. Look, Shamate, the whole world is laughing at us. That's what we had to represent us. PJP should have called out sick. We have another comment saying, even the English was bad. Tag one of the families. That's who you're put to represent us. Labour, aren't you all ashamed? A few comments here reading, whoever turned off the mic put PJP in more trouble. In St. Lucia, the PM looks so good to some people, but internationally, he doesn't know Chukum. We need this type of journalism in St. Lucia. Some NewsSpinners here saying, the journalists in favor of St. Lucians getting justice more than the Prime Minister. Why Mia sent her head backwards before PJP answered the question? You think that can ever happen to boss Shas PJP? Next time, ask Shas what to say. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, what a wonderful week to be a St. Lucian. The Al Jazeera journalist must have seen a video with PJP saying exactly that, knowing how he lies in the face of video evidence. Everything I see in this clip, I feel ashamed for us. We have another commenter saying, the journalist is not in there for jokes like our journalist in St. Lucia. Shas met with the journalist in a bar Grozile where he was briefed on the question in a Labour supporter's voice. PJP couldn't help his machadism. Another comment reading, Tim, don't worry, PJP will give the Al Jazeera journalist a job in the office. Labour supporter says he is the best PM. Someone is getting demoted and a pay cut as we speak for what transpired there. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Shante. This is the most monitored talk show in the world for 3 days only. Peter and Company Auto is bringing you an unbelievable Nissan Qashqai flash sale. From Wednesday to Friday, this is your chance to own the SUV that's turning heads everywhere. With its bold design, luxurious comfort, intelligent technology, exceptional fuel efficiency, and advanced safety features, the Nissan Qashqai is built to impress. Hurry! This incredible deal won't last. Come down to Peter and Company Auto. 3 days, incredible savings. Own a Nissan Qashqai. You deserve it. And that sale started on Wednesday and it goes on until Friday at Peter and Company Auto. Stay with the most monitored talk show in the world.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurances accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps, Stop suffering. Start living.
We ready for the road, we ready for the road. We First National, your next move bold. We ready for the road, we ready for the road. We First National, your next move bold. Get ready for your next ride with the drive ahead from First National Bank. Enjoy up to 100% financing and rock bottom interest rates on new vehicle loans. Because we're not only here for you, we're driving ahead with you. For the road, we First National Bank, your next move bold. Visit one of our partner dealerships, any First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com today. Promotion runs through November 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliothèque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Stop paying full price. With Flow, you can slash your bill in half. You heard right. Cut your mobile bill in half when you add mobile to internet. That's the most reliable Wi-Fi at home. Plus, all the data you need on the go. So don't wait. Double your connection and double your value for half the price. Add mobile to internet today. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow, hein. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. You need toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. You need pli mer pour pomme cette ici. You ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Brand pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est Major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moins actuellement. Glow ka fante. Europa ni pump glow Léo en de couleur neuf, orange et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
It's Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan as they present your favorite country and western singer, Heather Miles. The date, July 11th, 2026. The venue, Villas of Disco, Saltibus. It all starts from 8 p.m. Admission is only $20. Music by DJ Stormy alongside DJ Tallboy. Food and drinks will be on sale. Elmer's 70th birthday bash continues with a beach bash Sunday, July 12th. Rudy John Beach, Labyrinth. From 1 p.m. Music by DJ Stormy with DJ Pimples. So don't forget, July 11th, Philosoph Disco. And July 12th, Rudy John Beach with Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan. It's gonna be a vibe.
Thank you. My name is Josh Rushing. I'm the senior correspondent for a show called Fault Lines on Al Jazeera English. We've been investigating the disappearances of two St. Lucians, Ricky Joseph and Nafi Williams. All evidence points toward their deaths being caused by a U.S. boat strike on February 13, 2026. Experts have told us that these extrajudicial killings amount to murder. The families who we've spent time with say they have little hope of justice. So my question for you, Prime Minister Pierre, and then I have a question broadly for everyone, but for you is, for these families, what should justice look like in this situation? And then broadly, for the other leaders present, does the United States have immunity to kill citizens in your territories for alleged crimes?
I've answered that question before. I've answered it before, and my friend Dale Elliott has asked me that question before. I'll give you the same response that I gave him. We are very concerned about the loss of life for anybody, particularly these people who lost their lives at sea. We've requested information from the United States, and we've not got any information as to what happened. As I speak, we still consider it a missing persons case, and our own law enforcement are trying their best to see if they can decipher what happened. But as far as we're concerned, the United States have given us no information on that issue.
Are you on the record to say the United States is obstructing your investigation? It's been 5 months since it happened.
I'm not on the record as saying that.
What possible information could they provide to you?
I'm on the record as saying that they've given us no information.
What possible information could you get from the United States so you could proceed with your investigation? And I return to the families who, they've told us you haven't contacted them. What should justice look like for these families?
Excuse me. Let me assure you, these families are our people, you know.
Yes, sir.
They are my people. So I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure more than you. They are my people, right? I'm very concerned about them. But all I can tell you, I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is we have not got any information from the United States. That's all I know. But I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure I'm more concerned about them than you.
Well, I would just challenge that. I've spent the week with them. I can name their children.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Sir, can you?
Because, I mean, after this week, you're going to be leaving. I'm ahead of them. So I know that pain. I know what they're suffering from, but I can only tell you the truth.
Why haven't you reached out and talked to those families then?
Oh, I've done more than that. You see, you will stay here for a lot longer time.
I turned off his mic.
For the other leader.
Can I intervene because...
An exchange there between the journalists from Al Jazeera, Josh Rushing, and Prime Minister Philippe Dupierre. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air. This is NewsSpin.
This is Lucilia calling from Servants Bay. I saw the clip Philippe Dupierre is saying, like, from the time my children's father passed away, he reached out to the family, and this is not true.
So you're saying the deceased Ricky Joseph.
Yes.
Is your boyfriend, husband? Child father. Okay.
Boyfriend.
Okay, so let me ask you. The Prime Minister, has he ever contacted you or your family?
He never contacted me. He never came to see me, nothing. And then I saw the clips that he has saying he reached out to the family, and then that is not true.
But he's saying he did more than that. He's not saying that he reached out to the family. He's saying he did more than that. So what
he never did. He never did anything or whatsoever.
No one from the government has contacted you all? The family? Nobody?
No one.
No government minister, no parliament representative?
No one at all.
No one at all?
Yes.
And how does that make you feel, ma'am?
It makes me feel bad.
Because you expected to have heard from the Prime Minister on this issue?
Yes.
But why you think? Yeah, you're saying?
I'm expecting to hear what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But what he is saying is not true. He never reached out to nobody.
So you expected him to reach out to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I imagine as the Prime Minister of the country expected that to happen.
Yeah.
But how do you feel right now knowing that no one knows what has happened to your child father, the father of your children, Ricky Joseph?
Mm-hmm.
How does it make you feel not knowing what has happened to him?
How does it make me feel?
Mm-hmm. Not knowing what has happened to him.
Well, it makes me feel sad and depressed and all.
What do you want the authorities to do for you? Because what we're hearing, we cannot confirm it, but it is being stated that as a result of kinetic strikes by the Americans, that as a result of that, maybe the father of your children got killed. What are you expecting the government of St. Lucia? Is there anything you believe that they can do in the search for answers for you and your children?
Yes, because he should, as the Prime Minister, he should tell me something.
Because up to now you don't.
And
you're saying, continue.
Yeah, because up to now I don't know anything, and as far as I'm concerned, I saw the clip like he's saying he reached out to us, and this is not true. Now I am pissed off about that.
How many children do you have with Mr. Joseph?
4.
4 children. What
12,
are
12, 9, 6, and 5.
Okay. And what are the children? How are the children reacting to the disappearance of their father? What are they saying to you? What questions are they asking?
Where is their father? Because my daughter had a seizure. And then the rest keep on asking me, where is their father? Where is their father? And I had to come straight to them and tell them what happened.
Mm-hmm. And how old is that daughter?
She's 9.
Okay. If perchance the Prime Minister is listening to this broadcast right now, what do you say? What can you say to him?
Pardon? I didn't get you.
If the Prime Minister is listening to the broadcast right now, what message do you have for him since he has not contacted the family?
No, he should tell us something. As the Prime Minister, he should really reach out to us to see how we doing or whatever.
Yeah, but if he's listening now, what message do you have for him? What do you have to say to him if he's listening now?
Well, he has to contact us and let us know what is going on. That's what I want to say to him.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Any final words from you? What do you have to say? Do you have anything finally to say?
No.
Okay. And what's your name again? You say Lucilia, right?
Lucilia. Yes, Lucilia Charles.
Okay, Lucilia. Thank you so much for calling the broadcast, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Just heard there from Lucilia Charles, who is the child mother of Ricky Joseph. Jante, the chat room. What is being said there? And then we will take one final call and conclude the broadcast.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, St. Lucians used to be a proud people. What happened? This is a serious matter and he's over there laughing. They are my people. Did he mean that they are black like him? Shame on PJP. Another YouTube comment here reading, great job, Honorable Philip JP, Brainbox PM, 16-1, next time 17-0. Over here on Facebook, our first comment reads, this is a hook for road match. Turn off the mic, turn off the mic. That's a big hit, man. We need to bring Al Jazeera here during our campaign to question our politicians. Whoever turned off the mic thought she was helping PJP, but she did more injustice to him. St. Lucia has now been exposed to the world, and that's not a good light at all. We have another comment here saying, Peep really just said the journalist didn't do his due diligence before he came to slaughter him. The CARICOM knows very well why they passed the baton to St. Lucia and Pierre, because right now the pressure that's coming down on them for the level of corruption, they can't take the pressure. Peep going to visit the family next week. A few comments here reading, no, Al Jazeera will be playing a clip where the victim's family saying they never heard from PJP. PJP said he visited the family. You're not even making a statement. Is visit you will do? Shaking my head. The journalist for Castries East in 2030. Some news spinners are saying, have the journalist interview Shas, the difference in response. When you are trained to deal with mediocrity and you get exposed to the real thing, you just crumble and crash. Still taking a risk to save him by turning off the mic. What happens when you have no control of the mic? What would you do? The government spends so much time out in fires they can't even get to govern. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, never a dull moment in St. Lucia. They will present a CIP check to the family. Time for a photo op. PJP reactive governance. Just so the colorfuls made their vote beat them, so something must be wrong. PJP is not on the record. He is on a CD. We have another comment here saying, AA Alva even duck. It's like he didn't want his PM to see him. Moi ma'am, I thought it was only me that noticed him ducking. Tim, play that clip every day for us. Another comment here reading, everyone in the room was ashamed except PJP. Play Dale clip, let me see if that was the same answer. And our final comment for today, PJP is actually admitting that Dale Elliott is a good reporter.
Thank you so much, Jante. We have a WhatsApp message, and let's see if you have a call on the landline in the meantime, but we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says that Tim, notice how animated and personal PJP got when the reporter asked him whether he ever got in touch with Ricky's family. He never answered with a yes or no. Instead, he went on to be personal and implied that because the reporter does not live in St. Lucia, he, PJP, was more concerned. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And somebody says there, what another embarrassment. The Prime Minister never answered the question. He's lost. I'm hoping the Al Jazeera journalist can extend his stay or visit St. Lucia to cover the things that go on the island so the outside world can see. We need journalists like this in St. Lucia to ask the right questions. SLP administration and their supporters should be ashamed. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Some form of assistance should be provided for that family. If the government has money giving people to vote and all the checks on Facebook, this lady should be compensated. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says, Tim, the incident happened after elections, so no visit from the politicians. Let me turn my attention now to the NewsSpin news of the day. And the NewsSpin news of the day reads, Hungary's main state TV news channel went dark on Tuesday afternoon and used the blank screen to say it had been lying for years. Hungary's main state TV news channel went dark on Tuesday afternoon and used the blank screen to say it had been lying for years. The NewsSpin news of the day, we have already gone through the NewsSpin question of the day, which is, what's on your mind today? That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin YouTube channel grow. Goodbye.